dust is in my eyes, my blood is on the ground. Quiet little chuckle and the shuffling of the boots of the coward that shot me down. He turns toward the sunrise and I hear him softly say, I guess you've met your macho man, as the colors fade to gray.
Howdy, partners. Dust and Blood is a rabble-rousing, rootin'-tootin', bronco-bustin' podcast not suitable for the ears of young'uns. Take a gander at the content warnings and listen with care.
Welcome to Dust and Blood, a narrative play podcast set in the wild, weird fantasy West. I'm Blake, your GM, and our players are Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Zach Parker as Moz Copernicus Pryor, and Gail Parker as Bonesaw. Last time on Dust and Blood, our heroes confronted the Rabbit Prince to free Cameron Spinner and Zen Orquin from the snare of the Banshee. After finishing up at the camp, you all set on going to go after those inoculations. You begin riding out west, following the general trail that you were told leads into Badlands. It's a short day because you spent most of the morning and afternoon fighting, so it doesn't take too long before it's starting to get dark and you arrive at a campsite that seems like it would be a good place to do what you need to do. Rest, relax, reconnoiter, and prepare for your next mission.
We have a chest of doubloons here. How heavy is this chest?
It's not overly heavy. It was a smaller chest that you're able to pick up and carry, and distributing it between Otto, Smokey, and Myra's horse, you're able to easily carry everything that was in it.
All right, then. We'll carry on with our pockets full of jingle jangle.
I think that Ash has been somewhat, I would almost say surly and withdrawn since the events of the cavern, and they're kind of keeping to themselves.
So Bonesaw is still Ash.
Yeah, Bonesaw is still out of commission. Asharel is our inhabitant for the evening.
Okay. Myra has been clocking Ash this entire time and is watching the movements that they make.
Well, then, this looks like a good place for us to set up camp. Looks like the sun might be getting a mite low in the sky. How defensible is this place?
You're still kind of in the foothills. It's fairly open plain, but you're able to find a copse of trees and be able to give you a good view of the valley around you, kind of up on one of the hills.
All right, well, I'm going to give Smokey her head, and when it gets to around twilight, the sun is not quite so bright in the sky, which hurts my poor little undead eyes. I'm going to go to a high point and try and get a general lay of the land and see if I can see anything that's like, signs of smoke on the horizon or dust.
Give me a survival check.
For the purposes of favored terrain, is this still desert?
I would say at this point, you're in plains.
Okay. 29.
Nice.
Awesome.
Let me roll something. With a 29, that's a very good roll. You can see far, far off to the distance. You see what appears to be a small streak of smoke to the west, and also like a small glow of red. Closer than the smoke, but further, you would guess half a day's ride out. It is barely on the edge of your vision.
All right. Well, I'm not too worried about that because that'll be a half day's ride even in the daytime, and I don't think we're going to be looking forward to any surprises during the night then.
Mm-hmm. Bonesaw's stomach growls loudly, and Ash just sort of sighs heavily, like...
Yep, even with the mortal body, you gotta take care of it.
I hate it.
Myra, unless somebody tries to stop her, is going to try to cook something.
Bonesaw does not have pleasant memories of you doing that.
What? Why?
Jasper would like to stand behind Myra as she cooks and give the occasional or oh yeah, that'd be a real good idea. Just trying to give a little bit of guidance on trail ration preparation, if she's amenable to it.
Hey, look! I found this kind of green stuff. Green stuff. What's this?
That is saguaro. That is cactus that you have right here. Now.
Oh, it's a cactus.
You can get some moisture out of it if you are in desperation for a bit of moisture. It's a little sticky, but you can get something out of that. You can also
throws it into the pot.
Boil the thorn out of it. Oh my!
All right, give me a survival check.
Oh my god!
With a +2 as Jasper is helping you.
I think if Moz was in the area, he'd be trying his hardest to prevent Myra from cooking, but I think he's going to be preoccupied with washing the various rabbit and jackalope guts off of his clothes.
Whoa! That is a natural one.
That couldn't have been.
I'm so sorry.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Myra's wafting the fumes towards her nose, and she's like, that's good eating.
Myra.
Moz catches a whiff from half a mile away and gags.
Oh.
Jasper's going to try and do something a little surreptitious. He's going to try and accidentally trip and knock over that pot.
Yes, please. For all of our sakes,
I just watched her put in 3 heaping handfuls of nightshade.
All right, go ahead and give me a either a sleight of hand or a bluff check to convince that it's an accident. Get him out early. We're getting him out early.
Another that one.
Oh,
This is a comedy of errors. Oh.
Myra, I am terrible sorry. But you was about to poison us all.
Myra kind of, she looks at the pot and she looks at Jasper and she goes, I gotta work on my my cooking skills. Maybe we can just do trail rations tonight.
Yeah, y'all will have to do trail rations for tonight.
Okay.
Myra kind of sulks over in the corner with her trail rations and nibbles on some bread.
Jasper will turn to Moz and whisper, mouth, "You're welcome."
Moz, what were you saying you were up to? You were,
Just cleaning myself off from the gore that I believe Jasper was mostly responsible for getting all over me, but also trying to cake in some mud on the fiddle to give it that nice normal look to it.
Okay.
Or beat down.
While you're doing this, for the first time in a couple of days, you actually hear your fiddle speak to you. Look, boss, I know you're trying to keep things on the down low, but do you mind not putting so much dirt on? I mean, I'm a bit of a, like to show off a little bit.
And that's exactly why you're getting this much mud.
Now, come on, you gotta understand, you should be showing me off. You're the master fiddler. Wouldn't want people to think you just carry around some old fiddle now, do you?
Remember the last time you showed off? That's what I thought. Take your mud.
Fine. It falls silent again.
Moz will return to the campsite once his task is complete.
You arrive to seeing Jasper in the worst possible of pratfalls. Like, boom, and spill the pot. You see the sheriff hops over to it, leans down, and then hops away
no.
quickly. One of the plants that is caught in the flow just withers and dies immediately.
No! Oh my god. I'm gonna kill you guys one day. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
If it wasn't for the fact that was a nat 1, it wouldn't have been as bad as that, but it was
Oh, but 2 nat 1s in a row.
Oh.
I imagine that Jasper went to accidentally knock it over and said, oops, and then realized that he had missed, and then, like, stuck a hand back out, and then knocked it over.
Does Goiter find it appealing at all, or not even Goiter?
I think even Goiter, like, goes over to it, sniffs, picks up a little bit, and bleh, scuttles back up onto Myra.
Myra looks at this and she goes, okay, yeah, maybe my cooking skills do need a bit of a brush up. And she looks at the plant and she's like, yeah, maybe a lot.
Ash goes digging through Bonesaw's bags, doesn't find any trail rations, and then just, like, tosses the bag off to the side and just sits next to the fire, arms crossed.
Jasper would like to come up and try and share some rations if he notices this, because Jasper's better at living off the land, if necessary. Asharel, right?
That's correct.
I take it from your dejected posture there that Bonesaw plumb forgot to pack any rations for you.
He keeps them in the cart.
Ah. Well, tell you what, I got more than I rightly need. If you are feeling a bit peckish, I'm willing to share. And I hand over some hardtack and some jerked meat.
Ash will take it and say, thank you.
Do you mind if I ask you a question or two, Asharel?
What are the questions?
Well, see, I got introduced to Bonesaw as Bonesaw, and you have shown up a couple of times, but I don't rightly claim to be able to understand what the relationship is between you. Where are you from, Asharel? Or were you born in that body, or were you invited in? I don't understand how all this works, and I'd like to make sure that I don't commit any faux pas there.
I have perfect recollection of Templeton's memories, but my own, I'm not sure they're compatible.
Compatible? You mean you're not sure if you remember exactly where you're from?
I know I am a warrior, and that I fight evil. That is my purpose.
Interesting. And any idea how you wound up in the situation that you are cohabitating in?
Templeton's memories place him in a town. There was a magical disease, and he could not cure it. The preacher in the town riled the people against him, and then tried to use him for some kind of sacrifice. I believe that is when I arrived.
Well, that don't beat all. Well, you are a boon companion, Asharel, and I'm glad to have you here. I will admit that I am a little trifle worried about Bonesaw. Is this something that you two share, and that you're going to come and go, or how is Templeton?
Templeton is recovering. Normally, I try not to take over this much. Not since the beginning, when I didn't know what I was doing. I prefer to let Templeton handle the mundanities, walking, breathing. But because he's recovering, it's too much for him right now. And he's this crazy mortal, always pushing too far, drawing on my power when he has no idea the consequences for himself.
Yeah, I've tried to talk sense into old Bonesaw, and I can't say that it is an easy task to undertake. Bonesaw has their own ideas about what's a good idea and what's a bad idea. But friends is as friends does, and I'm rightly glad that you were here for him when he was failing.
He wouldn't be failing if not for me.
Oh. Well, that's a mite different. Are you saying that you are... Oh, because he was drawing on your power and your being?
Asharel nods.
I see.
He has found a way with his chemical concoctions to access some of my energy, but it's caustic for him.
I see. But your cohabitation there doesn't really have any effect on Bonesaw's unique mental outlook, to put it politely.
Ash is quiet for a long moment. Takes a bite of the hardtack. Takes as long to chew the hardtack as you normally need to chew hardtack. I did not choose to be here, and I have nowhere else to go.
Well, you done right by us, and I'm willing to stand by and do right by you. Whether or not you are here or, let's say, resting behind Bonesaw. But, if I can, I'll be honest with you. I can talk till I'm blue in the face, if I could, to Templeton to convince him that this is a bad idea, drawing on your power. But, I don't know if I've got a spit's chance in a tornado to change Bonesaw's mind about nothing.
I suspected as much.
Alright, well, for your sake, I'll do what I can to convince him that maybe that potion ain't no good idea right now. But, yeah, if you let him rest up, your company is welcome.
Asharel nods, thanks, and eats some more hardtack. I assume that this was sort of around the campfire so Moz and Myra could also hear as Moz returned and maybe also eating.
Sure. Moz is very interested in this conversation, but I don't think he would pipe up. He'd just watch and observe.
Yeah, Myra's she doesn't say anything, but she kind of eyes Ash. She kind of looks in the fire for a little bit and goes, so, are you deceased and trying to pass on?
I do not think I am like you.
I see. Interesting.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but it's been a tuckering day, and I think it's time to turn in. Anybody want to take first watch?
I can.
All right, then. Give us a nudge when you're ready to turn it over. Don't go pushing yourself, neither.
I'll take second watch.
I'll take third.
And Jasper will lay down and cross his arms and, to all intents and purposes, stop breathing.
First up, Ash, give me a perception check.
23.
Sometime around after everybody has fallen asleep, a couple of rabbits come bounding past, and they stop and look at Ash for a long minute before turning and continuing on.
Regular rabbits? Sure they ain't got no antlers on them?
As far as Ash can tell.
Ash assumes they are regular rabbits. They feel that if there was anything special about these rabbits, they would be able to see it, or know it, or sense it.
Got it.
Next up, Moz, give me a perception check. 25. You actually see, as you're getting up and changing places with Ash, you see the same rabbits, and it turns out they're not just regular rabbits. They are, in fact, jackalopes. However, unlike the jackalopes that you dealt with earlier, these ones are your run-of-the-mill jackalopes, just small creatures, small rabbits with antlers.
Okay. Does it look like they have weapons on them or are aggressive?
They're just small rabbits. They have a bit of intelligence in their eye, more than your average pair of conies, but otherwise they are, for all intents and purposes, they do not appear to be dangerous, or they don't appear of nearly the size nor magnitude of what you faced earlier.
Okay. Moz will keep an intent watch on the rabbits, but also scan for other surprises.
Otherwise, it is a quiet evening. Myra.
26.
During the night, you do not notice anything in particular other than a light breeze blowing on the wind.
Can she chat with Goiter? She's starting to bond a little bit with the little flesh pile.
I'm so glad. I love it.
Absolutely.
I think she kept the miner's helmet and is holding Goiter in the little miner's helmet and watching him glorp and slurp around. Well, you don't really like this Ash fellow, do you? But, it sounds like he's kind of stuck. Seems like there's a lot of people that are stuck. Maybe you sticking around him, even though Bonesaw is not really there right now. Maybe you sticking around him will, help keep him safe. And then when he does come back, you'll be right there. Yeah, I know.
It's definitely a bit of like a consternated, like, okay, I guess, kind of blubbering. But Goiter seems to acquiesce, and even though he does snuggle up a little bit closer to Myra.
She kind of gives a little pat and is less disturbed than she normally is, and she just kind of pats and goes, I know. We'll get him back. I promise.
I'm curious, is Goiter warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Blooded?
Technically...
I don't think he's blooded.
Yeah. I don't know if he has blood.
Okay. Would it just be like a cold, wet sop of flesh, or like a warm...
It would be a warm slop of flesh.
How? I don't want to know. I don't want to know the answer to that question.
I feel like the pince nez that he stole from Zen, bubble to the surface and settle on a little outcropping of flesh that acts as a nose.
Definitely, just like a bloop. He now is constantly wearing the pince nez on this little bit of flesh.
Looks so much more intelligent.
Myra goes and wakes up Jasper.
Thank you, Myra. Get yourself some sleep, and I'll take myself a little stroll around the perimeter. And I will make a perception roll. 24. Ooh, that sucked for me.
Low for you.
It ain't a nat 1, so...
Oh, there's that.
With a 24, nothing seems to happen.
I don't like the way that was stated.
Yeah, very ominous.
Well, as the sun starts coming up, Jasper is going to start tidying up around the camp and seeing if he can't get some sort of breakfast going with some trail rations and some things he scooted up around the end of his watch. He's going to be bustling around, whistling Red River Valley and just kind of getting things up shipshape.
You all come to, it's a bright, sunny morning. The clouds from yesterday have burned off. It's a bit colder than it has been, especially now that you're starting to go up a bit more into the foothills. Not enough to be cold weather, but definitely enough that you're you might want to watch for the next few days. You might see some snow.
All right.
You head off. Can somebody please roll a 1d100 for me?
There we go, 97.
Damn!
97. Fantastic. Oh, it was so close to one that I really wanted you guys to roll.
We'll never know.
Moz lost all of his big muscles and is gonna be hanging in the back.
Ash seems very uncomfortable to be squished on a horse with Moz because they're sharing Otto.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But they did prepare endure elements 2 times for each of us.
Oh.
Appreciated.
It is necessary.
As you guys ride throughout the day, about midday, you're climbing over and around the hills. And who's leading the charge in all of this?
Probably Jasper with his tracking and...
As a ranger type guy, probably.
Give me a perception check.
33.
Around noon, as you're riding, Jasper, around one of the hills, that red glow that you had seen the previous night, it is much closer. And you start to hear a slight hum, almost as if there was like energy in the air, and you feel the hairs on the back of your arm, on your leather-bound skin, are just standing up on end. There's a lot of energy in the air. You also, specifically because you rolled that well, hear muttered cursing. What languages do you speak?
I speak English, Apache, French, and Spanish.
You are not able to make out any of these words. It sounds like a very light voice, but the language that is coming out is very guttural and just...
All right, I'm going to hold up a hand to try and stop our progress, and I'm going to motion everybody gather around here. We got something strange on up ahead.
What is it?
Well, it's somebody muttering in a language I do not understand. But I don't know if y'all can feel it, but there's kind of a crackling power in the air. Like something you might get if it was gonna, like, thunder and lightning real soon.
Do we also feel the power?
Now that it has been pointed out, yes, you can all feel that energy.
Ash looks at Jasper and says, "Would you like me to prepare Templeton's elixir of tongues?"
Not yet. Might not be necessary. They might speak common. They might be casting something for all I know. Sounds more like cursing.
Can Moz roll like an Arcana check or a relevant check to tell?
Yes, go ahead and roll Arcana for me.
14.
With a 14, you get a sense this is the kind of electric energy that comes from conjuration magic.
Okay. Well, I think that weird voice over there is conjuring something or other.
Can we hear the muttering?
No, it is too quiet for anybody else to hear it at this time. You would have to get closer. From what Jasper could tell, it's kind of over the next ridge.
Myra's gonna start slithering very quietly up the hill and see if she can get a little eagle's eye.
Give me a stealth check.
I'm gonna cover her with my rifle.
Ooh.
12. Not great, my friend. Let's see what they roll. Oof. As soon as you get to the top, you think you're being pretty quiet, but then all of a sudden you hear a voice call out, "Oh, finally, somebody that can actually deal with this issue. Come here, now, you and all of your friends."
Caw-caw!
Damn it, Myra!
Caw-caw!
Thought snakes were supposed to be stealthy.
Well, that sounds a mite imperious.
She tries to pass it off as birds and goes, caw-caw, caw-caw.
The voice continues, "Are you as simple-minded as you look? Come down and help me."
Well, geez, you don't need to be so mean about it. She slithers on down.
As Myra comes over the edge, and eventually as everybody else comes over the edge, she sees a horrific sight. Sitting in a small gully is carved on the ground a large star.
Oh, shit.
It is glowing yellow, and around the edges is a giant red circle with a dome of crackling red energy. At each of the points of the star is a long line of crackled energy on the ground that is just burnt and shredded. each of these points ends in a twisted and mangled and burnt corpse.
Jesus.
And sitting in the middle of this star is what appears at first blush to be an almost angelic figure. She has long white hair and large white wings that drape out and almost touch the edges as she sits there. But as she looks up at you, her face, this pure bone white, eyes completely black, there's something fundamentally wrong. It becomes even more obvious as you begin to see her blackened armor and the blood dripping from the edges of her wings. She holds a long, black, two-pronged spear, and she stands up. Come.
No, thank you. Who are you?
She stands to her full height, which is a decent head above you, and she says,
I am Myra the Airentoth.
Right.
Could you describe these bodies a bit more? Are these... who's dead here?
give me a perception check.
21.
As you look at these bodies, they appear to be wearing, or were wearing, purple robes. Kind of an old-style robe with a deep, dark hood, and then wearing a very nice purple suit underneath. Their faces, what you can tell under the burnt skin, are contorted in pain and surprise.
The suits are purple? Like Blackburn purple?
No, it is a different shade of purple. Anybody who would like to can roll a religion check.
Ooh, yes, please. 12.
22.
Moz, you actually are able to recognize the specific cut of these robes and suit, and on the back of one of their hands, the carved symbol that denote these as followers of the Good Book.
Okay.
You know that the Good Book followers are a bit of pariahs in the West. They tend to come with this, oh yes, we're just simply here to help, but people around them tend to go a bit mad. And they themselves, the people who start getting into the Good Book, it is said that they themselves descend into a bit of madness.
Well, folks, I don't much like the look of this.
Ash, deep in your stomach,
Especially after she says that she's an Airentoth.
something deep stirs within you. This is a fallen. This is one who turned their back.
Ash is gonna go into mutant mode and draw Crux.
Whoa.
Buddy? She's already contained. Best not piss off the rat's nest if you catch my drift.
She should be dead.
As should you! Oh, this is absolutely hilarious. She is looking directly at Ash.
I'd like to put a little bit of distance between myself and my companion, or I'd like to spread out a bit, is what I'm saying, just in case there's some spell casting coming up here.
Now, why would Jasper be moving that way? Hey, get back here.
Mervenor leans up against this dome, the crackling energy seeming to go into her arm, and she looks at Ash and just smiles. Oh, this is delicious.
Have we met?
You don't remember. You don't remember a thing, do you? All of that power stuffed into such a simple, stupid mortal vessel.
Ash begins to quake with anger.
Oh, that must be torture for one of you.
One of what? Ash is gonna stalk up to the edge of the dome.
She does not flinch, continuing to just stand there, hand pressed against.
One of what?
If you don't know, I don't think I want to spoil the surprise. Tell me, did it hurt when you fell all that way?
Devil, I will fill you with fear like ash and iron. He's gonna raise the hog splitter.
Ash, don't! She wants you to break her out.
As soon as you say this, Moz, her black eyes turn to you and say, "Silence, whelp. You and that little imp that you carry are nothing in our realms."
Well, seems a lot more than you since you seem to be a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, for somebody who was requesting help, you do not seem to be well-versed in knowing exactly how to go about that.
I did not request help, I demanded help. And you will help me or suffer my wrath.
Okay there, Miss Lady. I think we'll be on our merry way then. Come on, fellas, let's pack it up.
Ash looks like they're teetering on a decision.
She smiles at Ash and just says, "That's right, little bird brain. Follow your devilish friend. Listen to everything that he is saying."
He's not my friend.
Oh,
Harsh.
he certainly orders you around like it.
He's not ordering anything.
Certainly. I'm sure that's what you tell yourself.
You think I'd consort with the likes of you?
Oh, my. With the history that we have, I know you have.
I'm going to pull out an adamantine bullet,
Okay.
and on these rocks nearby, since it's the hardest object I have, I'm going to start scratching out things like, "Danger, do not release. This person is a lying fallen angel. Danger, danger."
As you do that, she locks on you, Jasper. You undead thing. You're going to warn people against coming to help me.
Well, it seems like a right neighborly thing to do.
I swear by all of the masters below, if you do not release me, I will come after all of you and I will flay the flesh from your bones while you are still alive, or whatever you call this second life that you have. And you, and she points at you, Moz, if you think for 1 second that your dealings with this Tavilius will protect you from my wrath, oh, my friend, you have another thing coming. Tavilius cannot protect you from me if you do not release me now.
What makes you think I need his protection?
You're trapped. You're bound. You might have all the power in the world and you can't do anything about it.
Through a mirror darkly.
Ash will turn away with an angry huff. Let's go.
Damn straight.
Myra pauses for a second and goes, "Wait, I might be able to lend a hand."
Ooh. Somebody poked the bear.
As Myra does this, Ravenor just screeches this ear-piercing scream, and this bow of fire appears in her hand. She draws back and fires a shot,
Take cover!
and it impacts the edge of this seal and dissipates. And she just runs and lunges and starts pounding on it.
Aww.
You dare mock me, you simple-minded snake. I know what hunts you, and it will not rest, and it will not stop. And I swear I will be there when it catches you.
Look at that. I think we might have got on its nerves. Ain't that a beaut?
Myra is very tempted, but she decides not to poke the bear anymore and turns around and leaves.
Ash will follow, but they are just quaking.
As we're leaving, I'm going to clap my hand on Maj's shoulder and say, "Well, Jesse, excuse me, Mr. Blackburn, we should probably get a move on."
That is clever.
Give me a bluff check.
Oh,
That
no.
took me a good long moment.
Roll high. Roll high. Oh my god, yes.
No.
Oh, bummer. That would have been so
I'm
great.
too damn honest for my own good.
Yeah.
That's
Very
disappointing.
disappointing.
I'll roll a sense motive for her, but holy shit. She says, I know what you look like now, Blackburn. I rolled a nat 1 on my sense motive check.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, they can work in our favor, too.
Well, if we ever need a chat, I know where you live. Be seeing you.
As you all turn away, she speaks at you, Asharel. Not in infernal, but in a light, glittering voice that rings in your head. A language that is deep within your soul. She says, be seeing you around, Asharel. Say hi to your brothers and sisters for me, if you ever escape that mortal coil.
Ash walks faster away.
Does anybody else speak Celestial?
Nope.
Okay.
I skipped that day in school.
I barely speak English.
All right. Nobody else understands, but they do hear that bright language being spoken. As you all make your way, she slams her bident into the ground and returns to a sitting position, wings outstretched, watching and waiting for the next person to come around.
Well, as soon as we are out of earshot of her, I'm going to go, that was unexpected.
I'm just so frustrated with this limited... It's got 2 arms, no wings, mortal weapons wound me. I can't see things that think they've disappeared or understand more than a paltry jumble of words.
Well, you could have all that in a lot less inches to your overall height, so pipe down.
Dead people just lay there when you try to strike up a conversation and you have to breathe constantly. It's stunted, weak, broken little thing.
Hold on.
I am stunted, weak, broken.
Are you? Are you an angel?
I don't know.
Well, I can't say that I'm an expert on religion, but I do know that most angel names do end with L. L being short for Elohim, or of God. Michael, Raphael, Saphiriel. Asharel isn't much of a stretch.
What do you know, Ash? What are you?
All I know is I am a warrior against evil. Everything else is Templeton's.
Well, plenty of that to go around, so why don't we go destroy some evil by vaccinating some kids? Sound good? Let's get a move on.
I think that would put us in the black, maybe in the good books. So let's just get ourselves a move on there then.
Fine.
Ash, you gonna be okay?
I will subsist. Ash seems to have blown themselves out. They're just sort of empty of emotion now as they climb onto Otto and scoot distastefully to make room for Moz.
Come on, warrior. Leave me a few extra inches.
You have plenty of inches.
I do miss being muscly, though. It's a good few hours. Probably some of my best.
The rest of the day continues on as you start to approach the final stretch before you are actually starting to make the climb up into the Badlands. It's around this time in the evening that you find a place to rest and recuperate for the day.
Now, as I recall, on the previous night, I was able to see a bit of that reddish glow, which I assume was from the pentagram area. Is that still visible?
Yes, as you turn around and look, you can see it about the same distance as you saw the previous night.
I'm going to call the attention of the party to it. Say, there's a bit of a reddish glow there out there near the horizon, just beyond that low ridge there.
That'd be the sun.
No. Sun is 90 degrees in the other direction there. That being the west.
Uh-huh. I see.
That glow would be to the north-ish. Northeast-ish a little bit there. But yeah, that's our new playmate. Might be a good idea for whoever's on watch to keep an eye out in that general direction every once in a while, just in case some poor hapless soul comes around and thinks they're doing a good deed.
Noted.
All right, I am going to try and cook dinner before anybody else can try and volunteer.
This time Myra is going to take the hint and she's going to go walk around the perimeter for a little bit to let other people cook. She's looking around for things that were bad beforehand, so things like nightshade. Like, okay, so that's nightshade, that's poison ivy, don't pick that.
Myra, give me a perception check.
Okay. 21.
As you're doing this search, you notice a small glint of something golden off the beaten path just a little bit.
Ooh, shiny. She goes towards it.
As she picks through the brush, she sees sitting on a rock, as if it was placed there, a small leather-bound journal. On the cover, it reads, "The Good Book," in golden lettering.
Nope.
7? It's just a book.
Cool.
Shiny book, even.
Yeah.
It's a shiny book, and it says good book, so it must be good.
Oh no.
She picks it up curiously and kind of looks it over.
There doesn't appear to be anything particularly special about it. It's wrapped in this brown leather, very nice leather. You haven't really come across this kind of leather before. You're not sure what it is.
Oh no. Oh, I think I know what it is. Myra doesn't, though. She goes, someone must have lost their journal. She is very curious, and there's no one around that she can see.
Not that you can see, no.
I'm gonna roll a will save.
17?
Okay. She decides that, I'm not quite sure what this is. I want to open it, but she's gonna take it back to the camp.
Okay.
Hey, I found something. It's this nice leather-bound journal. I have no idea what this leather is, but it says The Good Book on it.
Here, let me take a look at that, Myra. Moz will extend his hand for the book.
She hands it over.
He's going to just, with one fluid motion, toss it in the fire and give it a little bit of a oomph with some hellfire, and that settles that.
Whoa! What was that for? That was someone's journal.
Well, it ain't a problem no more. I've had enough of peculiar golden items for a lifetime.
The book, as it sits in the fire, it takes a beat or two too long to start burning.
Oh no.
But as it sits there, it eventually the pages start to curl and smoke, and it produces a very acrid smoke that smells a lot like barbecue.
Gross.
Now my tummy's rumbling. Jasper, where are you getting on them there hardtacks and whatnot?
Jasper comes back with a handful of wild onions that he has scavenged up from the surrounding area. Starts to walk towards the spot. Who the hell put a book in my fire?
That was Moz.
It's, seasoning.
Apparently it's some cursed book. I don't know. We've dealt with a lot of cursed items, so I don't wanna deal with any more.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can take a stick that we've got for feeding the fire with it. I imagine it's burnt beyond recall, but I'm just going to knock it out of the fire because I don't want any of... If it's a cursed item, I don't want none of those fumes in my cook pot.
It is a hellfire campfire now, so I don't know if that speeds up the cooking or whatnot, but...
Smell of brimstone.
You push the book out, and as it flops out, rather than, being ashy, it more, blorps out like it was a blob of flesh.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
I turn to Moz and say, good call.
Oh, damn it, I wanted to do some light reading.
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
22.
Nice.
That's enough to provide a decent meal.
All right, well, this will be a little bit better than nothing. I've taken the hardtack and boiled it so that we have basically dumplings.
Ooh.
I do carry a sack of beans and a small sack of rice in the saddlebags on Smokey. So yeah, I've boiled up some beans, bit of dumplings. I've managed to slice up the hardtack once it's softened a bit. Threw in a little bit of jerky and letting that boil. It's going to be a bit chewy, and some onion grass and a few special herbs and spices I found along the way.
Yum.
Smells so good.
Ash says, this is far superior to Templeton's memory of Myra's cooking.
Okay, I get it. I could improve a little bit on my. You know what? I'm just gonna sit.
Was that rude?
No. It was true.
Blunt.
It was true.
We gotta work on your table manners there, Ash.
I'm not used to the fingers being this...
Icky.
They shake a hand and the fingers sort of rattle. They're looser than normal fingers because they're zombie fingers.
Uh-huh. Well, you better get used to them. Bones needs those.
We're going to go ahead and roll for the night. Same order for watches?
Sure. Just keep it simple.
Okay. Ash, give me a perception roll.
Will do. 14.
You do not notice anything out of the ordinary. Moz.
Yeah.
26.
Nice.
The night is quiet. Quieter than you would have expected. You do continue to see that red pulsing off in the distance, though.
Okay.
Myra.
28.
Similar to Moz, the light in the distance continues to glow. The night is quiet, and on the edge of your perception, you think you hear a gunshot in the distance.
She whips around and is a little paranoid because now she knows that something is directly hunting her. But she just kind of holds Goiter, keeps watch.
Goiter snuggles up. Jasper, give me that final perception check.
That was not a sight I wanted to awaken to.
Oh, you warm up to him.
I don't know. It's kind of like autopsy jello as far as I'm concerned. All right, then. I'm going to take a look around, and I'll start off looking in the direction of the red glow, but I will do a perimeter search. 23.
You do see the red glow continue. Though as you look, especially later on through the night, it starts to grow redder. Redder. To the point that the sky starts to turn red. And then the sun rises.
Oh,
and
god damn you!
it's a normal day.
Bastard!
That got me good. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have to fight a devil.
Holy shit. I do not want to fight that.
Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do.
And you have succeeded on another night. You pack up the camp and start heading into the Badlands.
When Bonesaw wakes up, I don't think it's Ash anymore. Bonesaw is kind of curled on his side. He's not wearing the mask because Ash wasn't wearing the mask. And as he starts to come to, he blinks sort of blearily and looks around, and flinches hugely and scrabbles at his side to find the mask and pulls it out and puts it on. All right. Hello, Jasper.
Morning, Bonesaw. How you feeling?
Sort of sore and confused.
Yeah, you plumb checked out on us for a couple of days there.
A few days? Really?
I got a message for you.
What's that?
First of all, do you know who Asharel is?
No. Did they sign the message? Is that who it's...
No, it's more of... It's not so much like a missive or like a transcribed message, more like a friendly piece of advice.
Oh. I tend not to listen to people's advice. They're usually out to get me.
Well, I'd say you better sit down, but seeing as where you are, you better not stand up.
At this moment is when Goiter just full-on launches off of Myra and just right onto the side of Bonesaw.
Oh, hello, Goiter. What a beautiful... Oh, I love when you give me morning kisses. Yes, that's lovely.
All right, hold down the gorge there.
Moz is gonna do a Constitution saving throw.
Bonesaw?
Good morning, Myra.
Bonesaw.
Was Goiter sleeping with you? Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad you're making friends.
Oh, Moz is gonna quietly hurl to the side of the camp. Rise and shine, Bonesaw. Good to see you back.
Yes, I've been gone, apparently.
Apparently.
Bonesaw, you were inhabited by possibly an angel?
His name's Goiter. I thought we'd gone through this.
No, this would be that Asharel I was talking about.
No, the angel. Asharel. You're inhabited by possibly an angel.
Oh. The person you talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, can you tell them to leave?
I think they want to.
I don't think they've got a choice in that. But they did have a message. You know, sometimes when you assume that larger and more horrific form for the purposes of being more effective in combat, I suppose?
Yes, my mutant form.
Yeah, that word.
Oh, it's really very clever, the science behind it.
Unfortunately, that's drawing on the power of this other person, and it makes you sick. It plumb knocked you out for 2 days. You were not doing well, my friend. We practically had to nurse you back to health.
Oh.
That is a dangerous, dangerous gamble you're taking there with your health.
Well, that sounds like a not great side effect, but I'm sure it's something I can tweak in later iterations of the mutagen. It's all part of the experimental process, you know?
Yeah. But for now, until you get a chance to sit down in your traveling laboratory, it might be a good idea to hold off on that. I wouldn't want to see you collapse on us again. You were plumb pitiful, I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, you almost sound like you care, Jasper.
Yeah, almost. Sure, sounds like it.
Well, if it puts your mind at rest, I will hold off drinking the mutagen until I have made some changes to it.
Well, that's probably more than I hoped for, so good on you.
2 days? Well, what happened? Anything exciting? I see Jasper still hasn't started moisturizing.
No, and I'm going to hold off on that as long as I possibly can.
Well, you are downright crusty, sir.
It endangers my expiration date. Well, you did miss something. We met ourselves a genuine devil.
You mean one Moz didn't bring about?
Right, yeah, exactly. This would be a totally different sort of devil. Don't think it's quite up as high on the infernal pecking order as Titavilius.
That's about right.
Some female with a flaming bow.
Oh, that does sound exciting.
Well, yeah, it was exciting. They're currently being held in some sort of a magical circle of some kind. But, yeah, that was probably one of the most exciting things. Oh, yeah, and, that's right, you've been out for a while. Yeah, we plumb took care of their jackalope, prince.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, banished him right out of the world.
So we can get Myra's memory back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just as soon as we've talked to the railroad people and all that, but...
Well, we sent off communications to that end. Yeah, I don't know, Myra, it's been 2 days since then. You might be able to, they were less than a day's ride away from perdition. You might be able to make that communication now if you want to try your coin.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, dawn and twilight are great times for contacting the first world, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Well, from storybooks anyway. I don't know if it holds any water or not.
Better reception.
She takes out the coin, kind of rubs it between her fingers, doesn't quite know what to do with it, but she calls out, Wesglen? I don't know if you can hear me, but, we think we found a solution. It may take a few days to go into motion, but we think we did it. So, I'd like my memory back.
You speak all of this, and as you're speaking it, you feel the world around you get a little bit quieter. Everything gets a little bit muted. You can tell that there is something happening as you speak to this coin. And as you finish, there is a silence. And then a voice. It sounds similar to Wesglen's, but there's something a bit different about it. It feels deeper, older somehow. Not yet. Not quite finished. Get to the end and see it through. Something isn't right.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean something's not right? What happened? What do we do wrong?
Moz is gonna lean over to Jasper as Myra's talking to herself and whisper, "I think she's gone mad."
Could be. Or could just be she's hearing something we can't hear because of that there magical coin. She don't look too happy, though.
And Myra, you get no response.
She, a little crestfallen, lowers the coin, puts it back in her pocket with a bit of a huff, and goes, "Well, I guess we're not done yet." She said there's something wrong. I don't know what we did wrong, but maybe we just gotta see this through to the end.
Well, there's two possibilities as I see it. Either something indeed has gone wrong with our chain of deals, in which case there's going to be hell to pay, or maybe they just want to make sure that it's actually happening because, it'll take time for them to start moving tracks and things.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as we get back to perdition, let's double check and make sure that people are holding up their end of the bargain, because we had a deal.
Yes, we'll figure it out, Myra dear.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Where are we? Exactly.
We're about 2 days south of the mines and headed into the Badlands here. We're looking for the inoculations that were lost for the Apache kids.
Oh, that's right. All right.
Can somebody please give me a 1d100 roll?
50. Wow.
Excellent. As you start walking and you start making your way, and the road starts to climb up, it begins to diverge and go in different directions. Jasper, give me a survival check to try and track down the tracks of the wagon. 22. You think you have a decent idea of which direction it went, and largely it seems like it is continuing the way that you would expect, going the most direct route towards the Apache lands, where it was supposed to go. You all follow this for only about 2 hours before you all hear shouts and yells coming from up ahead.
Y'all hear that?
Yup.
Yes.
Yeah, what is that?
You see a rough-looking man, couple of furs hanging off his shoulder, a flopped hat that's askew. He has an eye patch and a long grizzled beard. You see his hands are tied in front of him as he is running towards you, and he's shouting at the top of his lungs, "Get down, she's right behind me! Get down! You don't want to..." You all hear a massive shot of a gun, and in a red mist, his knee disappears.
Oh, shit!
As he falls to the ground, yelling in pain. Half of his leg about 10 feet behind him.
Jesus.
Have no fear, I am a doctor, though I do charge through the nose, or perhaps the knee, for reconstructions of this sort.
Get me out of here!
Bit soon, Bones?
Well, you've got to let them know about the prices up front, really.
Myra is aiming her gun down at whatever it is that just shot him.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, Moz is prepping in action.
15. You cannot see anything. You don't see hide nor hair. You can't tell where the bullet came from.
Her head's on a swivel. She's panicking, looking around, trying to find whoever this person is.
Can you describe the layout of the land a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and how close are we to the guy?
He is probably 15, 20 feet from you. You're on a path heading up into the mountains. The walls have started to get a bit steeper. Lots of switchback box canyons. It's still pretty low. It wouldn't be too hard to scramble up rocks and stuff. It's not as deep of canyons as it will get later on. A little bit of a slope. He was running down the slope towards you. As you look up, you see trees sparsely growing, a fall plain where a landslide took place probably earlier in the season. A lot of little rocks and boulders that would be easy to hide behind. We can go ahead and hop into initiative.
Moz, essentially, he's just gonna go into a bardic performance whenever he can see the assailant.
All right, Myra, you're up.
Okay. So his knee just got clean blown off by a gunshot. Would I be able to tell that it was close range and that the person might be invisible?
Give me a profession roll.
Okay.
Okay, with a 13 for your profession roll, Myra, you can tell that this was probably a high-powered rifle that was decently close, but definitely a sniper shot. It was probably close and a high-caliber rifle, but a pretty damn good shot to take somebody's knee out.
Okay.
Myra, if you want to keep me covered, I'll run out there and see if I can pull him off the path.
She has something called an arrow magnet. She is going to put the magnet about 10 feet away from the guy to draw any bullets.
You throw out this tiny silver cube. It bounces a couple of times and starts hovering 5 feet above the ground.
So cool.
A couple of rocks that were on the ground next to it kind of float up and circle around it.
Or that.
Bonesaw, you're up.
Quick thinking! Bonesaw's gonna sprint the 20 feet to the guy and hand him an elixir and say, "Drink this!"
As you're running, another shot blasts out. However, because you are within range of the arrow magnet, it has hardness 8, 5 hit points. Mark down that it has taken 1 hit point of damage.
Okay.
Arrow Magnet sounds like a nickname you give to the most danger-prone member of the party. Hey there, Arrow Magnet! Get out there and see what's going on!
You all see as the bullet is heading straight for Bonesaw's feet, but just as it is passing over the guy, the bullet backs off and there's this
Thank
spark
you, Myra!
as the arrow magnet takes the hit.
You're welcome. So glad I got that.
I missed Bonesaw.
Do we see where the bullet was coming from?
Make a perception check.
And does he drink the elixir?
Yeah, he takes it and starts downing it.
I got a nat 20.
Woo! And I got
Ooh,
a
look at
19, which is a 28.
Nice. Let me check their stealth. Oof. Even with their minus 20, only Bonesaw is able to see
You're shitting me.
just this flash as up on the ridge about 20 feet away, this figure that had popped out and took a shot at you.
They're on the ridge!
Which ridge?
Bonesaw points wildly while the guy who has drunk the elixir rapidly shrinks to half his height and an eighth of his weight. Does his severed leg also shrink?
No, it doesn't.
God
Oh.
damn it.
What the fuck? He's sitting there, he chugs it, it's like, thank you, just get me away from her, she's crazy, she's been taking me across all the different places in the... What the hell happened? What did you do to me?
Listen, this will make you so much easier to carry. I can't fix it right now is the thing, so hold tight, and I'm gonna try to scoop him up.
I'm bleeding out, what are you doing?
And also the leg, and try to run back. But of course, I won't be able to run until my next turn.
All right, Jasper, you're up.
Well, my original plan was to go out there and drag this guy back, but I think that's taken care of. I dismounted before we rolled initiative back when he was still approaching.
Yeah.
I'm going to run for the cover of a boulder, crouch down, and aim with my rifle in the direction indicated.
Give me a perception roll.
32.
Nice. You are able to see where they were at. You can see them up on the ridge. Specifically because Bonesaw called it out, you can see the shadow of where they're hiding, pressed up against a rock. You can see them.
Alrighty, before I squeeze off a shot, I'll handle that for next turn, I think, because I'm gonna try and really get some information here. What does this person look like? Do they have a badge? They have a big white hat with a big old star on it or something.
What you can tell, it's still a distance away, but they are carrying a very unique rifle with a very long scope on it. They also have several different guns strapped to their legs. They have a sawed-off shotgun in a special holster along their leg. You can't tell much from this distance, but you can tell that they appear to be a knoll.
Knolls. I hate those guys. I am ready to squeeze off a shot. I think I've blown my action for this turn, but I will squeeze off a shot as soon as I am able.
Okay.
But I will say, it's a knoll with some sort of sharpshooting rifle and enough ordnance to feed the whole cavalry.
It is their turn, and they pop up from around the edge, and you all can see them now, and I shout down, "Let him go. That's my bounty. I swear to gods above that you will not take this money from me."
Oh, you really shouldn't have told me that. Now I'm so much more motivated to keep him.
She is going to hop down and charge right at you, Bonesaw.
Does this activate Moz's?
Yes.
Okay. We'll play it safe, but we'll give everyone some extra hit points.
Yeah.
Can never hurt. So
Okay.
it should be 2d10 plus Constitution.
And as she runs up, she simultaneously holsters the rifle and pulls out her shotgun, locks it in, and pulls out the gun. As she approaches, you can tell now that she is a female gnoll. She is fucking ripped. Standing very tall. She just looks absolutely ready to fight. She's wearing an open jacket without a shirt underneath. On her arms, she has fangs wrapped around. She has a necklace of fangs and bones. Many, many scars. And she approaches with the gun out and says, "Ain't gonna end well for you if you don't give me my bounty back. I've been pulling him for 3 days and he's given me nothing but trouble."
Okay, well, what about splitsies? Because he's mine now, but maybe we can negotiate something.
She points the shotgun at the ground and fires it at your legs. And it immediately goes back and hits the arrow magnet, but just spins. It does no damage to it. Clever little trick you got there.
How about you put that gun down and we talk this out a bit and you tell us what exactly he has a bounty for? Because you could be a raider for all we know. You could be hurting some innocent folk.
She looks around at all of you, spits on the ground, and just holsters her shotgun.
I still have my gun trained on her.
Now, what are this man's crimes?
From what I read on the bounty, he's wanted in Arizona, Mexico. Was a petty thief for quite some time until he decided that He wanted to try his hand at stagecoach robbing. Turns out he's a bit shit at it, so he fucked that up. Now he's got rangers from Arizona and New Mexico. Heard even some of the Colorado Rangers are coming after him. I got him first, though, so the $1,000 is mine.
Did you say a whole $1,000?
He's been a load of trouble for it, and I intend to earn that.
You know, the knee's a pretty tricky joint. Is it only 1,000 if he's in good condition?
1,000 if he's alive. Less if he's dead, but still worth it to me, whether or not he's alive or dead. And the guy on the ground says, "You got it all wrong, I was framed for all of that." And she just, "I don't give a rat's ass whether you were framed or not, that's up for the county court to decide. If you prove to be more trouble than you're worth," and she pats the shotgun on the side of her.
Oh,
I
dear.
rolled sense motive and got a nat 1.
Nice!
Oh.
I'm going to ask the little guy, what's your name, partner?
Franklin Hells.
All right, sense motive on that. That didn't come out too quickly, and it might have been Blake, it might have been Franklin, I don't know.
Got him 18.
13.
18? Yeah, he's fucking lying. His name isn't Franklin Wells. He ain't innocent. 13, you can get a sense. There's something fishy about this situation. You don't get specifics, though.
I think Moz is gonna sort of indicate to the group to discuss things privately away from Tang, but I think he's gonna lead just by saying, "I say we give him up, but under the condition that they owe us a favor if we need someone of her profession in the future. She owes us."
That sounds pretty nice. I'll be sad to give up the bounty, but I suppose we did sort of step into the middle of things, yes?
Yeah.
Hey there, Miss Bounty Hunter. You got a wanted poster on this fella?
She scratches her chin, kind of holds up her hand. Mind if I reach into my bag?
As long as you do it slow.
She slowly reaches into her bag, pulls out a revolver, drops it on the ground, reaches in, pulls out a dagger, drops it on the ground, reaches in, pulls out what appears to be just a fuse grenade, drops it on the ground.
Oh, I'm liking her more and more.
You're a well-prepared person, I can see that.
Pulls out 3 posters and passes them over.
Ooh.
All right, gonna take a look at these posters here. Any of them match the description of this here fella? No, it says here this guy's 6 foot tall. This guy's only like 2'1". Can't be the right guy.
You find one for William Atherton for $1,000 for theft of a stagecoach. Wanted alive, 1,000, dead, 500. You see one for the killer Billy LaFay, and one for the Short Round Gang.
I love them.
All right, so William Atherton is probably the only one that would fit this person's description.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're on the nose here, Moz.
Hey! Moz is gonna cover his septum ring. Moz will hold his hand out to Bonesaw and say, "May I?"
Fine. Bonesaw passes the leg over.
The other one.
He grabs William Atherton by the back of his collar and hands him to Moz.
Okay. Moz will cradle him like a child, a small baby, and walk him over to the bounty hunter. "Suppose this is your bounty, fair and square, but in the future, if we come calling, be nice if you could help us out, maybe once or twice."
That's fair. And she extends a hand. Name's Tang. Tang the Bounty Hunter.
Moz, and he will hand her the leg.
Her eyes narrow a little bit at him, and she growls a little bit.
He'll also hand over the small man.
I'm pretty sure that's temporary.
You see, he lost a leg, and he's starting to bleed out. She quickly pulls out a section of rope, ties it into a tourniquet, and, yanks it on the leg, and says, "Fair enough. I owe you one."
Here, let me help you with that. Moz is going to start a small fire in his hand with one of his cantrips. But essentially, he's trying to cauterize the wound.
I'm averting my eyes.
Yeah, William yells bloody murder. Tang just nods like, resourceful. I like that. And then she pauses.
Uh-oh.
And then she gets down into a crouch and looks Moz dead in the eye. What did you say your name was again?
Moz.
Got a last name to go with that? Name Moz?
Shit.
Tippet.
Roll bluff.
Look at that.
35?
Yep.
35 bluff, and she continues staring at you for a minute, then gives a small smile and says, sorry, remind me of somebody I saw once.
I get that a lot.
You all take care of yourselves. And she picks up her bounty, gives a whistle, and a horse that, up until now, you haven't seen, comes trotting down. She tosses William over the back and says, take care. Keep an eye out for any more ruffians.
Hey, before you take your leave, you seen hiding her hair of a wagon in these here parts? Might have been abandoned, might have been taken by bandits.
Roll diplomacy.
11!
It wasn't that hard of a check. It was a DC 10.
Yeah, I'm not demanding anything of her.
Yeah, she says, no, but I did see some tracks up that way. Seemed like they went off the path a little bit. Seemed a bit odd to me, but I was hauling this one.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. I'm glad this didn't get no worse than it started.
Certainly, I agree with that. And she gathers up her weapons that were tossed on the ground. William, at this point, is just yelling up a storm. He's kind of come back to consciousness, and
Can you give us a sample of him yelling in the tiny voice? I love it.
I swear, if you don't let me go right now, I'm going to... I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you're not gonna like it. My parents are really rich from back east, and they're gonna... And at this point, Tang just gets up, sighs, and just reaches a hand back and just fucking slaps him upside the head and says, shut up. Like I said, $500 for a bit of silence might be worth it. Yeah! And she rides off.
God, I love her.
She's best bay.
Oh, and if you see a pentagram, best avoid it. I'm sure she heard me.
Moz is, before we get on the horses and get up, I think he'll step away from the group for a little and confer with the sheriff. Do you think she knows?
Spicy.
Ooh.
Murky futures, huh?
Okay. Roll 1d100. You're trying to hit below a 79. Oh!
Ooh, squeaked by with a 77.
Yep.
Okay. Your question was, do you think she knows?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit of a difficult ask for it to answer, but I think overall it gives you whoa.
Got it. Well, we best be putting some distance between us and this place. Come on, let's get a move on.
You know, I should have asked if I could keep the leg. She didn't really need it. I could have found a use.
The leg's still laying there. She didn't take the leg.
Okay, can I take the leg?
Yes, you can take the human leg.
Listen, if nothing else, this is going to be very intimidating when we run into someone else and they ask, why do you have a bloody leg? And I'm like, well, because I've ripped it off a fellow, so don't backchat me.
You know that's gonna get pretty ripe after a while.
Not if I pickle it.
Well, I can't argue with that. I'm glad I do not keep a diary. No one would believe this. All right, folks. Seems like our bounty hunter there did indeed see some tracks leading off the path, so we'd best keep an eye out for that. Could be they were stashing them, could be they're hiding them so they can sell the inoculations later on, who knows. But it's also a good bet that whoever stowed them and left somebody behind to guard them.
You begin to continue on for the rest of the day. Because of this description that you have been given, and Tang actually will have given you the exact location that she noticed the pathway, you don't miss the turnoff, and you start to be able to follow the path. You are now in the deeper canyon, and the walls rise up about 30 feet on each side of you. It's a winding path down through the way as the day begins to grow long.
This looks like a wonderful place for an ambush.
You go ahead and make camp that night. Go ahead and, if you all want to roll survival, to eat, or if you want to just eat rations.
I think it'd be a good idea to eat rations tonight and not build no fire. Of course, we've been warned that there might be snow, so maybe we need a fire.
It's no problem.
Yeah, how cold is it?
As night begins to fall, you see clouds start to roll in.
Ooh.
And the temperature has begun to drop.
Oh, I miss the cart.
All right. Smokey, I don't want you freezing any more than you have to. Smokey's going into her box.
We can all huddle around Otto.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, there is that. Yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah, Otto is warm.
What a good horse.
Otto gives a mechanical nicker of just,
Doesn't really help with the wind chill, but it's pretty toasty right here in the middle.
Move over.
Oh, come on here. Let's snuggle. It's for warmth.
Myra, unfortunately, is unable to contribute to the warmth because she cold-blooded.
Parasite!
Oh, you're like an icicle.
Like the equivalent of putting your cold feet on someone's backside.
Yeah.
Jasper, round the toasty horse.
Yeah, I'm still a little concerned. This looks like a great place for being a fish in a barrel.
Well, we've got to sleep, though.
Dang, if it wasn't so cold, I'd climb up top and take a look.
Oh, I have fly. I could let you fly and look around.
Wow, not too sure about that.
No?
No, thank you. I appreciate the offer. I think I'll save that for when the alternative is death. However, it is kind of box canyon-y. I am going to take my time to find a way up to a high point, just to take a look around before I go back down to the warmth of the Iron Horse. I want to see if there are any other fires in the vicinity, that sort of thing.
give me a perception check.
There's a 30.
Ooh.
Fantastic. I will say, you would guess it's by the winding path that you're going to be taking over the next few days, however long it takes to find this. You see, probably an hour away, a cave on a higher cliff face, and there is a small glowing light coming from it.
How much daylight do we have left? Anything to speak of?
It is getting pretty late at this point. I would say you have probably an hour to an hour and a half of daylight left.
Well, we've got night vision, but I do not think our steeds do. I'm going to climb back down and say, all right, I took a look around from up top. There's a cave maybe an hour up this here pathway. Kind of hard to tell because the way it twists so much. But there's definitely somebody in there. There's a glow like maybe from a flickering fire at the mouth of the cave. I don't know if we want to try and make our way there at night, or if we want to hunker down here and take a peek in the morning.
Does Otto give off light?
Yes, it's not a big light.
Enough for Myra's horse to see by?
Not really, no.
Goiter has iron torch
Yes.
attached to the miner's
Little hat.
cap that we could give to Myra.
To my horse?
Or Myra's horse.
Or Myra's horse.
Oh my god, this is so cute.
You've got to pry it from Goiter's squishy little hands, though, because he loves that thing.
Yeah, Goiter has been just playing with that every once in a while. He'll just, suck it into his body and, open his mouth and just have light coming out of his mouth.
Goiter could sit up in the saddle there and provide light for the steed. Myra, you can see in the dark, though, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Goiter, I'm gonna need to borrow that helmet, or, you're not gonna give it up.
I don't think the combined strength of the party is enough to pry that from Goiter.
Squish, squish. Goiter, how about this? Why don't you go for a lovely little ride on Myra's horse? And can you just... Oh, I really want to see your very pretty magic rock. Can you hold it up for me? Just for a really long time so I can get a good look.
Yes, of course! And just light.
Wonderful.
He talks?
None of you could understand it.
Okay.
All you guys heard was...
Got it.
Unfortunately, that's all that Bonesaw really heard.
Shall we to the cave?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall.
Don't got a better idea.
Drat, I think I left all my rations in the cart. Does anyone have something to nibble on?
I actually am out of rations.
Moz will silently distribute some trail rations that he has.
Oh, thank you, Mozzie dear.
You're buying me a drink.
Oh, I'll buy you a couple.
I'll buy you some. Thanks for the food.
All right, well, when we get through with this, we'll take a little bit of time to get some victuals off the land.
Yeah.
Maybe shoot a coney or two. Ones that ain't got antlers.
That's a future problem. Right now, we just gotta get to the cave.
Yeah, there might be victuals in the cave, too. We'll see. All right, then. Let's go all stealthy-like. When we get closer, we're going to need to douse that light. Myra, maybe just kind of tie your horse off for that last couple 100 yards.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Move out.
You all make your way stealthily as night begins to fall. Twilight comes quickly as you are deep in the box canyon, but you can still see the light above as stars begin to wink. It takes you the better part of an hour to get to the place where Jasper saw the cave. And as you approach, you all begin to see the light flickering from inside. It does not seem to be like a big fire, but there is definitely somebody home. As y'all approach, can you please give me a stealth check?
Oh my god, 14? Rolled a nat 2.
13.
God damn it.
10.
God damn it. Y'all will be happy to know that my luck persists.
So, 21. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, the rest of us are all singing cowboy songs and crackling our ration wrappers really loud.
Yeah, Bonesaw is munching quite loudly on hardtack. He keeps slipping chunks of it beneath the mask.
You all make your way, Otto just and like grasping. You actually see a couple of times as he's like he tries to climb up the steeper part, and as he does, his hooves like break apart and become these like super tactile, digited feet to gain traction.
That's so cool.
Stella, I love you.
Mercy in disguise.
But you all eventually make your way up towards the mouth of the canyon. Give me a perception check as you approach. Whoever is getting closest to kind of see inside the cave.
Oh, I rolled a natural 1.
Jasper, no.
Oh, I looked right at the fire. Blinded. Can't see.
Damn, Myra.
You're 31.
Holy cow.
I got a 17.
Everybody except Jasper, as you start to approach, you hear the voice before you get close. It's an odd mixture of like a metallic ringing, but it sounds almost like a younger girl's voice. She appears to be talking to somebody, but you can't hear the other side of the conversation. And like, after Daddy said I couldn't, I had to keep going, and now I'm locked in. It just sucks. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for letting me stay here.
Tiffany?
It has been terrible. Oh my god. Did I tell you? I did. Yes, he tried too. He hit on me. Can you believe that? No, and he's all, oh yeah, I got this great gig working with these people at the railroad. And it's like, oh my god, he's a green dragon, and I don't even want to deal with that right now. Like, just that, yeah, right? I know. It's so ridiculous. And it's about this time that you all come up around the corner, and you see lounging, laid back against the wall, a small fire with an entire deer just roasting over it. Oh. You see a large, not too large, not as big as you normally would expect, but a large blue dragon with almost seems like gold paint going down her neck. She is laying there kind of idly turning the deer over the spit, and she's holding a blue stone in her hand that she's talking into. Yeah, I know, it's just so ridiculous. I don't even...
It's an eye stone.
I've been here for weeks and weeks, and I've gotten nothing, and it's like, oh my god, it's so cold out, and I just want to find a place that's warm, but Daddy says I can't come back until I show that I'm worth it to the family. And it's like, oh, like, I know it, I'm trying to learn, but it's so tough, and I don't even... I mean, I caught a deer today. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I know. Come on, Tiffany, you don't have to be mean about it. Yeah, it was half dead, but come on. Well, you're the one who had to go south because it was too cold. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's okay, I forgive you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to slay a dragon less.
A knock knock! Hello! Sorry.
She jumps and, like, scrambles to all fours, drops the stone. Oh, no! Oh, I hope it didn't crack. Oh. She goes, like, looks at the cave entrance, looks at the stone, looks at the cave entrance, goes, picks up the stone. Okay, it's good. Puts it back. This is my cave and my horde. You have entered the realm of Kerry Airentoth.
Yes.
Beware, travelers, for there is a toll on this area.
All right, we're friendly.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh, come on in.
Gee, Josephat, look out, everybody, it's a dragon.
And she gives this big draconic smile to all of you.
Wonderful. Bonesaw scoots right up next to the fire.
Moz is gonna do a sense motive.
Okay.
Bonesaw.
Hi, I'm Kerry.
Ooh.
With a 7, no idea. Like, this is either the most devious trick ever, or you have no idea.
Okay.
And here we have Myra, Jasper, Moz, and Otto. Because Myra's horse is outside and Smokey is away.
Hi, come on in. Oh, yeah, I need to... Sorry, there is one bit of business that I need to do, and she kind of holds up a claw. If you're going to be passing by this area, and she's kind of looking up as if she's remembering something that has been rehearsed, you need to pay a toll. You need to pay a toll of $1,000.
Oh!
It's might bit steep.
What if we don't have that?
Oh.
Is there like a reduced rate for poor people?
I mean, I can't... She kind of puts a talon on her face as she's thinking. I mean, I guess... Yeah, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's just not many people come through here, and my daddy kicked me out, and I'm not allowed to use any of the family funds. And it's so cold, and this'll... Yeah, come on in.
Oh. Well, thank you. That's very sweet. If you want, you can snuggle with Otto. He's quite warm.
Oh, he is? That's really... And she steps up, and she's only about as big as Otto. Like, she is not that big.
Please don't squish him. He's very expensive.
Oh. How much did he cost?
You know, It's actually a family heirloom, so I mean expensive for my heart.
Oh, okay. I get that.
And you have to leave room for Myra. She's got circulation issues.
Oh, I get that. I have the same circulation issues, and oh no, she scrambles over to the stone and picks it up. Oh, it's okay, Tiffany. I just have some visitors. Yeah. Yes, they're friendly. No, they won't ruin the cave. Yes, I made sure they're not going to ruin the cave. You guys aren't gonna ruin the cave, are you?
Nope. We'll be the perfect guests.
Yeah, see, they're gonna be the perfect guests. You're not gonna steal from my hoard or Tiffany's hoard, are you?
No.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Yeah, see, they're not gonna steal from our hoards.
Jasper is staring at this dragon with his mouth open and has not said a word after holy cow, it's a dragon.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, okay, bye. Love you. And she sets down the stone. Sorry, I forgot that I had her on the call. Yeah, come on in.
Myra raises a hand and says, I couldn't help but overhear, but you said you were talking to a dragon that got a gig with the railroad. Was that dragon perhaps a green dragon?
Yeah, he thinks he's all special and stuff, but honestly, he just wants to grab some food, and he's such a child.
We ran into him. He was an asshole.
Oh yeah, that's Jerkoska. He is such an asshole.
Right?
He thinks he's all tough, and he's like, oh my god. But I mean, I kind of get it, he at least has a place, and they, feed him and stuff. I have to go hunting. I don't like hunting. You know how much it sucks to go hunting all the time?
Oh, so much.
It's it's... Sorry, I don't want to just unload on all you guys.
No. Somewhere in Myra's bag, she pulls out a nail filer and some nail polish. And she goes to work on the dragon's nails and goes, so tell me how you feel.
My god, it's my dad, I made one mistake 5 years ago, and I was guarding a bank, and my daddy and they kind of stole from it, and daddy said, oh, you're not responsible, and of course, I'm young, I'm still trying to find out what I want to do. Maybe I don't want to guard banks. Why would I want to? It's and he said, oh, you're cut off until you can prove that you can make your own way in the world. And fortunately, Tiffany, she's this white dragon who she comes up, but then she goes south for the winter because she doesn't really like the cold, which is weird, right? If she's, yeah, you'd think that she would like the cold, but no, she's no, I get it all the time. So she's letting me stay in her cave here, but it's, I appreciate it, but it's also I just want to be in a place where I can be warm and don't have to worry about, and I can, I have to raise money, but I don't want to be up here in the mountains. Nobody comes here. There was this one dog-looking lady who was really mean that came by yesterday. She took shots at me. It hurt. Look, right, and she points, and there's two of her scales underneath her foreleg are broken off from a bullet wound.
Oh, well, that I can help with. And Bonesaw will pass her an elixir of cure light wounds.
Oh my god, thanks! That's so... You guys are so nice.
I love this dragon so hard.
You guys are the best people. Most of the time I end up being alone. But it's nice to hang out with people again.
Yes, of course. You wouldn't have happened to see a wagon round these parts, would you?
Wagon?
That's really what we're around for. But of course, happy to stay and give you some company for a while.
Wagon? Let me roll something for her.
Is Jasper still standing with his mouth open?
You can do a sense motive on him if you want.
Okay. 27.
Jasper looks as if his world has shattered. He looks devastated. And if he could cry,
Oh,
his face has that look to it.
A Jasper? What's going on? Do you want to come in?
Yeah. I think so. What did you say your name was? He says to the dragon.
Oh, it's Kerry Airentoth. Oh, but no relation to the Airentoths that own the Blue Scale Bank that don't actually own the Blue Scale Bank. Oh shoot. No, I'm not supposed to say that either.
No, I think I'm losing my mind, actually.
Oh, do you need something? I can get, I got some meat, and she goes over and, like, jumps behind a rock wall, and, like, you see a goblet go flying and some coins go flying, and then she comes back and holds out a potion. This might help.
He will take it from her like she's just handed him the Holy Grail or vanilla chocolate ice cream out in the wilderness or something, just like it's a great gift. And he won't even ask, he'll just drink it.
Okay.
What happens?
As you drink it, you feel yourself revitalized. Honestly, almost more lively than you felt in a long time. This potion, specifically, it was a potion of restoration.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's like you never died.
Jasper stands up straight. Normally he has just a little bit of a wacky western crouch to him, but he stands up straight as a board, and he looks the dragon right in the eye and he says, "Thank you. That was a very generous gift. I apologize for my behavior, but when we first encountered you, I couldn't even make sense of what I was hearing. You sound exact. I had a little girl.
Oh.
She was about 15 the last time I saw her. And her voice, you sound exactly like her. Thank you."
Kerry is tearing up a little bit and says, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Did something happen to her?"
It was a long time ago. She's gone now. But I feel like I remember so many things I've forgotten all at once. I need to sit down. Thank you. And he's going to look around. Is there a chair or anything? Otherwise, he's just going to sit down with his back against the wall.
Yeah, actually, as you look around, it is a smallish cave, but in one corner it's been apportioned. There's a little library with a little reading nook and an overstuffed chair.
He will collapse in the chair. Please, just keep talking.
Okay, I can do that. My daddy says that I talk too much sometimes, but I mean, like when did I want to talk? I like talking, and especially when I get to meet new and interesting people. You all are so interesting. Like, I don't get to... Oh, you asked me a question, didn't you? There was like if there was a thing.
Yes, about the wagon.
Yes, a wagon. Oh, yeah. Actually, I think it came by like a few days ago, and it went down, and I went down to try and like to get a toll from them, but then they had this gun on top that went like really fast, and it shot me a bunch of times, and it was so loud, and I just flew away. Like, I didn't even want to deal with that. It's like, oh my god, no, if you're gonna shoot at me, like, I don't even want to deal with that.
You don't need that type of negativity in your life.
Exactly. Thank you.
How's Jasper doing?
He has his eyes closed and he's just listening.
I think Bonesaw will reach over and just pat his hand, sort of understanding.
Absently, he just puts his hand on top of the patting hand. He's not even sure whose it is.
Bonesaw, of course you can't see his face, but just the set of his shoulders, it looks like he's so excited it lights up, and he puts his hand on top of the other hand and just stands there in a hand sandwich.
Hand sandwich.
But yeah, Kerry explains which direction the wagon went. She says she heard something weird happen half a day's ride from here, like a bunch of shouts and then quiet. But then she didn't want to go investigate because they were mean to her.
Huh.
And the rest of the night she'll talk, she'll answer any questions you guys might have. She'll share the side of deer that she caught.
Yay.
Aww.
Thank you.
She does take the lion's share of it because she's a big fucking dragon.
Listen, I don't have $1,000, but maybe you could put this towards your hoard, and he'll give her 10 gold.
She brightens up as you do this, and she says, "Oh my god, thank you so much." And she just wraps Bonesaw up in her forelegs and like gives him a big hug and says, "This is so nice of you. Nobody wants to give me money. They either are like, 'No, you're a dragon,' they run away, or they're like, 'Oh, you're a dragon,' they like shoot at me." And it's like, nobody wants to, I don't want to hurt people
Well,
to get the money. And it's like,
maybe you could be like a philanthropic sort of dragon, where you like help people and get donations.
yeah, but Daddy says that philanthropic dragons are, what's the word in English? It's a very specific word in Draconic that's, it's Korthoth. Myra, I think you speak Draconic.
Yeah, I do.
You know that is basically a soft-shelled egg that was dropped and half cracked. It's a fairly harsh insult in Draconic.
It's kind of like an eggshell that's empty. It's been dropped and cracked, and yeah, it's bad.
Oh, that's such a good explanation. I've never been able to really articulate that before. You're so smart.
Oh,
Well, you don't have to do what your father says.
yeah.
Yeah, but if I don't, I'm not going to be able to get all the money that we have, and like, I really want a lot of that money, and because it's a lot.
No, that's very fair. But you could get your own money.
It's fair, but like, it's so tough to get. It's so tough to find like a place to stay and a safe place to keep my hoard. And like, I'm trusting that Tiffany will let me keep my stuff here for now. But like, I feel like she's getting a little pissed at me for being here because it's been like 5 years and I haven't really found my own place. Like, I like hanging out with her, and she's here. I don't know.
If you were to come across some treasure, would it help you with your family?
Probably, but it's like, I have to find a lot. It's not a problem. Well, like, it's been a long day, and like, we could talk tomorrow, but thank you all so much. It's been so wonderful. You're welcome to stay here and sleep in the cave if you'd like.
That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'd like to give you a gift if I can, in return for your hospitality.
Oh.
And he reaches into his shirt, and he pulls out a leather thong, and at the end of the thong is a horseshoe. And he says, "This looks like an ordinary horseshoe, but if you throw it upon the ground, the fork will always point towards the nearest source of fresh water. If you roll it on the ground, it will roll towards the nearest edge of a zone of wild or dead magic. And finally, if you are in deep trouble, it will bring you luck." Will you take it, Emma?
That is so sweet. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. And she gingerly kind of picks it up and takes it. This is such a sweet gift. Thank you so much. You all are just the nicest people. If you ever find your way back over here, you are always welcome in my cave.
Thank you. And yes, it's probably past your bedtime.
Okay, good night. Let me know if you need anything. And she's gonna go to this, like, big pile of pillows and circle around 3 times and lay down.
Oh my goodness.
She is precious.
Jasper will sit down next to where she has laid down, and so softly it's almost impossible to hear. "Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise." And he sings a lullaby to her, and he occasionally has to stop and remember words, and he only remembers the first verse, but he sings it completely, and then he just kind of lays down, closes his eyes, and falls asleep.
Goddamn, making me cry.
I was gonna say.
At least I didn't say he lays down and dies.
My heart.
It is a quiet night as you sleep in the den of the dragon.
A very, very small part of Moz is curious about the horde that
Don't you dare.
You monster.
I don't think personally, I don't think I could go through that. I don't even think Moz could go through with that. Like that's pretty fucking low. Not to ruin the moment or anything, but there's a shit ton of gold, I'm assuming, in the other room.
The morning comes. It is a bright morning. Kerry wakes up, stretches, helps you all get around, and offers you some of the leftover deer to take with you.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Like I said, you guys are always welcome if you want to. If you find yourselves coming back this way, just stop on in.
Much appreciated.
Have a good day. Good luck finding your wagon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jasper, as they're leaving, will turn to Bonesaw and say, "My wife's name was Petunia Westfield. My eldest son, Albert, wanted to be a school teacher, like me. Emma wanted to be a nurse. Edward wanted to be a pirate, but he was only 7. And little Clara, well, she just wanted food most of the time. Or a hug."
Oh, 5 out of 5! Jasper!
I can see their faces in my mind. I don't know how long this will last, but it's wonderful.
Bonesaw gives you a great big hug. He squeezes you so hard.
He returns it.
Bonesaw, dances from foot to foot and takes y'all in a little circle. That's wonderful, Jasper.
What a wonderful gift. But we have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. Oh, I'm sorry, that was an anachronism.
Little Robert Frost in there.
Yeah, he stole it from me!
The good news is, because you all were given directions from Kerry of which way they went, you're not going to have any issues finding your way to where all of these things were.
Yay!
It's going to be an easy path, and you'll be in good shape. You all start making your way through the Box Canyon, and it is turning back and forth, and it is rough going. About midday, you start to smell the smell of cordite in the air, and gunpowder, and fire. And you come around the corner, and you see a messy tableau. You see the wagon tipped over, all of the wheels off. There is a massive amount of damage all around. You see corpses of people, one bush that is burned, a person who had fallen to the ground as they were apparently casting a lightning spell, and it just etches in the stone of the lightning what appears to be a person who was hit as they were running by a stone that just squashed them into the ground. Massive amounts of damage all around.
What size stone are we talking? Like a baseball sized or like a small car size?
Probably about the size of a watermelon, but it just hit them right in the head and drove them into the ground.
Got it. I will watch my step and avoid any stones that look dangerous.
You see just magical damage across the entire area. One person was trying to climb up the cliff and got hit by something and
no.
just died there.
I hate to ask, but what's this?
That is some entrails
I was afraid of that.
that are right underneath the yoke of the wagon.
Them's your digestive worms, Jasper.
Sorry, that was really funny. You see one person that was like apparently lifted up and thrown on top of a cactus, and it just is impaling them up into their chest cavity on the cactus. It is a rough looking scene with a lot of corpses.
Well,
All right, before anybody goes and disturbs anything, dang it, before anyone goes and disturbs anything, let me take a look around and see if I can find any other clues that might not pop out at first sight. I'd like to roll perception, looking for things like maybe giant tracks,
Okay.
or an indication of what might have hurled these things around with great force.
28 to track. There's a couple of things you see. One, you explicitly do not see any tracks other than the wheel tracks of the wagon going and ending exactly at the spot where the wagon is.
ooh.
You also notice that the bodies that are around here, they're in varying stages of decay. You see some that are fresh and you can actually still see the army uniform on them.
Okay,
A couple are just skeletons.
interesting.
Some are kind of mummified by the desert air.
But the fresh ones are the army ones?
Yes, you see 2 fresh corpses of army personnel.
Okay. And the ones that are kind of mummified?
It's too hard to tell. It seems like whatever clothing might have been on them are gone, or just like regular.
Okay. I will relay this information, but I don't see any signs of what attacked them or what killed them, do I? I'm guessing something flew.
Ooh.
Maybe dropped a rock from a great height. Does the wagon look as if it perhaps had been picked up and dropped? Like the pieces just kind of outward from it?
Give me a perception check.
I'm gonna start mixing 3rd level extract.
Okay. With a 23, the wagon itself, from what you can tell at this distance, does not appear to be dropped. And in fact, despite a little bit of damage on top and the front yoke being checked off to the side, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Like, there's a little bit of burn on one side, and all 4 wheels are still attached. But you see 4 wheels sitting around it.
Huh.
That is strange.
So who wants to go check on the wagon?
Goiter, how are you feeling today?
God, you mean person.
I'm feeling great. What are you? Is this something you want, Bonesaw?
How sure are we that it's safe?
It kind of looks like this was set up.
Goiter, can you go just, touch that wagon for me?
Yeah, of course.
God, if this kills Goiter, I will never get over it. Wait, let me look up rules. Can I bring him back if he dies?
He goes up and he's going to touch the wagon.
Yep.
As he touches the wagon, he kind of pats it a couple of times. This is weird. It's kind of... It's kind of stick, and all of a sudden, on top of it, you see an eye open up,
It's a mimic!
and a maw.
Oh, fuck!
Goiter, run! Run away! Fly away! Get away!
Run, Goiter, run!
Goiter starts to pull away, and he is stuck to it. As the mouth opens, the eyes open up, and a tongue lashes out.
Initiative!
The wheels that are all around it start to make an
no.
appearance.
Oh my god. We have to rescue Goiter.
You just had to say you had to touch it.
And finally, in the corner, that big-ass cactus that seems just too big to be true. Eyes open up and mouth comes out.
Oh my god, what a cool battle.
And that's where we're gonna
No!
And that's where we're gonna end the session for tonight.
Oh, Goiter! This gives you plenty of time to find out how vulnerable Goiter is, or how undisposable he
God,
might
I'm
be.
gonna have a heartburn all week.
Yep.
Oh no.
Dust and Blood is a Rolling Path production featuring Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Blake Alfson as our GM, Zach Parker as Moz Copernicus Pryor, Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, and myself, Gail Parker, as Bonesaw. Our theme song is Dust and Blood by Arne Parrott, and other music throughout this recording is provided by Kevin Macleod, Tabletop Audio, Dark Fantasy Studios, and the Desperados 3 original game soundtrack by Filippo Beck Peccoz. Jasper's Lullaby is the song Afton Waters, with lyrics by Robert Burns and music by Alexander Hume. Performed by Keith on vocals and Gail on piano. Transcripts, detailed sound credits, and more can be found on our website at DustAndBloodPod.com. You can follow us on X and Facebook at DustAndBloodPod, or support us through our Patreon at Dust and Blood, where you can join our community Discord and get perks like our behind-the-scenes discussion show, The Roundup. We're so grateful for the support of our fans, people like Haas, Highland, Sleeve McDykel, and 50 Sloths of Grey. Dust and Blood releases monthly on the 1st, and our next episode is coming at you on March 1st. Content warnings can be found in every episode description, and we hope you enjoy exploring this fantasy western with us. Thanks for listening.
My eyes shoot open to the early morning sun. I feel that aching, pounding, poking of a bullet in my lungs. Skinny ceiling, bones crunching. I feel that wretched ancient something drag me up to face that coward son of a gun. His face grows wide as he fumbles for his holster. I feel the lead pierce my shoulder, neck, and chest. I scream that I have died 100 times and lived 1,000 years, and I'll be damned if a boy like you's gonna be the best. Yes, I'll be damned if a boy like you is gonna be the best.
Wait, Goiter has an inventory space? Can we just like shove money in him and he can hear a little dispenser like a coin purse?
I mean, you can try.
There is a limit to that, but yeah.
Actually, that's a thought.
No.
We should go shopping and be like, I will buy 3 sodas and like shake Goiter on until a bunch of coins come out on the counter.
Depending on what store you're in, that'll either win you a lot of points or get you arrested.
I don't like this imagery.
Damn, I was really excited to see if somebody would open that up.
I know. I was so close. I was so curious.
No, it's good. It's good.
None of your shit today, Blake.
Shut down!
Absolutely fantastic
Just
session.
amazing. I was crying because Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasper-
Well done,
Yeah.
I was tearing up too.
I was
so.
not ready for that.
I was expecting this to be a fun, happy, you get to meet Kerry from the other campaign. Oh, it's fun, and then you come and bring emotions to it.
Bringing in feelers.
Was a good cameo.
Yeah.
Moz might know how to play a fiddle, but Jasper knows how to play heartstrings.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's very sweet.